Bon dia a tothom. Molt bé. Si us sembla, reprenem la segona sessió, avui. Us agraeixo molt l'assistència, la constància. Vigileu amb la pluja quan sortim, els que esteu aquí, els que estan a casa, doncs, o a la feina, aquest problema no el tenen. El que sí que us demano, els que avui heu vingut presencialment, és que us torneu a acreditar perquè quedi constància que heu vingut les dues sessions i així poder disposar del certificat d'assistència a les jornades. Doncs ara donaré pas a les següents ponents que parlaran de... La seva ponència té el títol de «Amb la comunitat i per a la comunitat, l'experiència del Museu de Kalamaja», que posarà en valor el model del museu comunitari i la participació i la implicació sostinguda que té tot el veïnat de la zona on es troba aquest museu. La Maibel Napa, des de principis d'aquest any, és la cap del Museu de Kalamaja. És llicenciada en Història, màster en Estudis Europeus, ha treballat a diversos museus del seu país, ha gestionat i comissariat diversos projectes. Darrerament, una de les parts més significatives és que s'ha centrat en la cultura alimentària. També ens acompanyarà la Tuuli Silber, que és educadora-comissària i una de les creadores del Museu de Kalamaja. També és llicenciada en disseny tèxtil, màster en pedagogia de l'art i a l'Acadèmia d'Arts d'Estònia. Educadora, també, al Museu Infantil del Museu de la ciutat de Tallinn. I ella ha viscut de primera mà tots aquests processos que és com que ha estat a les dues bandes. Ha viscut de primera mà també els processos que s'han produït dintre del seu barri perquè ella és resident d'allà. Si us sembla, penso que és molt més interessant el que elles ara ens expliquin i ens puguin aportar, així que dono pas a la seva ponència. Gràcies.
Hello, my name is Maibel Napa.
And I'm Tuuli Silber.
Thank you very much for inviting us. We very much enjoyed all the presentations yesterday, and we are delighted to be here today to share the story of Kalamaja Museum with you. But first, we would like to greet you like we greet our visitors in our museum and the pupils who come to our educational programs. So there are these nostalgic Estonian sweets going around, so feel free to try one. They are called sea pebbles, as we are also located by the sea. So they are sugar-coated raisins, yes. All right, about our presentation a little bit. So we will first provide some background on the location of a museum. We will then discuss the creation process of the Kalamaja Community Museum and explore the different examples of how we continue to engage the community. We will finish by discussing the challenges we have encountered along the way, as well as the factors that have contributed to the successful establishment of our museum and the sustained and meaningful engagement of local residents. So, to begin with, Kalamaja Museum is a branch of the Tallinn City Museum that has 7 branches altogether around Tallinn. And Kalamaja Museum is located in the trendy Kalamaja district, which is one of the oldest suburbs of Tallinn. In the Middle Ages, it was an area where mostly fishermen lived. And the name Kalamaja actually also means fish house in Estonian. The name stemming from the sheds on the coast where fishermen used to store their fishing equipment. With the opening of the railway connecting Tallinn to St. Petersburg in 1870, and with the main station and railway workshops located in Kalamaja, the district became increasingly industrialized. Many different factories started opening up, manufacturing everything from socks and sweets to submarines and equipment for power plants. This, in turn, led to the construction of wooden buildings that could be quickly built for factory workers. Even today, Kalamaja is renowned for its wooden architecture. By the 1980s, the area was in a poor condition, though, and throughout the 1990s, it had a reputation for being run down. But from the 2000s onwards, Kalamaja has experienced a revival, with the former factories being redeveloped into galleries, cafes, and lofts, and it has now become a quickly developing and trendy district with some of Tallinn's highest real estate prices. Nevertheless, the so-called wild spaces can still be found as well, that inspire artists and other creatives. In the mid-2000s, a sense of community also started to emerge in the area, and the first neighborhood events, such as Kalamaja Days, were organized. A little bit also about our museum's building. The functionally styled building, which is rather atypical for Kalamaja with its wooden architecture, was first built in the 1930s for the family of Hans Einberg, a professor of mechanics at Tallinn Technical University. After the March bombing of 1944, the villa was rebuilt into a house with studios for 7 households. Since 1985, it has been a branch of the Tallinn City Museum, housing first a museum dedicated to the communist revolutionary and prominent Soviet statesman Mikhail Galinin, then an art gallery, and later the Children's Museum for several years.
Now a little bit about the creation of a community museum. By 2018, it had become clear that the museum building was in urgent need of renovation. And on the initiative of the then director of Tallinn City Museum, Triin Siiner, the process of creating the Kalamaja Community Museum began with a public survey conducted on paper during the neighborhood event Kalamaja Days, as well as online, asking the most important question: do we need Kalamaja Museum? Such method of creating a community museum together with locals from the very beginning was unique in this time in Estonia. The survey with open-ended question aimed to find out what the community thought about the idea of creating a new museum and what kind of museum people would like to see in Kalamaja. The results revealed a desire for a cozy, family-friendly space where people could explore the area's past and present and spend time together. Having obtained approval from the residents, the process continued with brainstorming sessions, focus group interviews, which had a defined focus, and moderated discussions. Because the sessions included both young and older, and both new residents of Kalamaja, and as well people who had lived there since 1930s and 40s, they helped map the experiences and expectations of different target groups. Local businesses and institutions were also involved, as well as interior architects and graphic designers who took note of expectations for the museum space. Participants shared memories of their favorite places and less favorite places in Kalamaja, as well as smells, colors, neighbors, childhood games, and so on. Inclusive exercises and mind maps helped shape the permanent exhibition. Furthermore, relationships formed during the sessions created a snowball effect that made it easier to involve more people in later activities. In 2019, the journey continued with over 60 individual and group interviews with former and current residents of Kalamaja. The majority were semi-structured interviews in which the central topics included home, urban space, perception of Kalamaja, everyday life, and holidays, with additional questions added according to the respondent's age. The questionnaire interview guide was created by an ethnologist who was also part of the core team of museum and was emailed to participants beforehand. A challenge was posed by group interviews, which were enjoyable for participants who reflected on each other's memories, but the recordings proved to be difficult to transcribe. Therefore, we realized that interviews with maximum 2 people would be easier to follow. At the same time, we also collected photos and objects for the new museum from basements, attics, and rooftops. This often required quick action when people called. The aim was also to expand the collections of the Tallinn City Museum. Based on ideas and stories shared during the brainstorming sessions and interviews, the concept for the permanent exhibition was formed to tell the stories of local residents through composite characters: the Kalamaja ancestor, child, woman, man, animal, and bohemian. The majority of our exhibits have been donated by community members. It was also important to raise awareness of generate interest in the new museum. Unusual calls to action became one way to achieve that. For example, it had emerged from the interviews that thanks to thin walls, a characteristic feature of Kalamaja's soundscape is noise pollution and accidentally taking part of neighbors' lives. This inspired the exhibition The Ears of Kalamaja, just before the renovation of the museum building began in September 2020. For that, a so-called collection campaign of ears was organized, during which the artist from Pelgulin neighborhood, Flo Kasearu, took plaster imprints of the ears of Kalamaja people aged 3 to 82. My ear is also there. The ears later also became part of the permanent exhibition. Another example is Kalamaja toilet seat collection campaign, which generated a lot of excitement. It was designed to highlight a period in the museum building's history when 7 families living in the building were forced to share a single communal toilet. The campaign was even featured in a national newspaper, helping to draw even more attention to the project. And the collection managers of Tallinn City Museum were also happy to accept many items into the City Museum's main collection. The aim when creating Kalamaja Community Museum was to share with the community as quickly as possible the exciting materials that had been entrusted to the museum. And as the museum building was being repaired, Kalamaja itself turned into an exhibition space. During the preparation of these exhibitions, locals were consulted, including on photo captains and the placement of photo stands, which helped to deepen established relations. Free tours introduced collected materials to the public and helped promote the forthcoming Kalamaja Museum. A great example is a 2021 outdoor exhibition named The Lost Fragments of Kalamaja, Pictures from Family Albums. Furthermore, the process of asking the permission from apartment associations to be able to place the photo stands where the photos had once been taken led to new contacts and friends of the museum. In addition, walk-along interviews were conducted during the outdoor exhibition. Revisiting childhood streets in Kalamaja helped uncover place-based memories that may not have emerged in a traditional seated interview setting. There were also a few bureaucratic challenges, as there was no existing framework for exhibition displayed in public space for longer than 7 weeks, forcing repeated permit applications despite plans to keep it up for at least a year. The exhibition has been on display for 5 years now, and the application system has changed as well, thanks to us. It has received lots of positive feedback from residents who take pride in their homes being included and say it has sparked wider interest in the neighborhood's history. Every year, we check with the apartment associations whether they would like to continue, and they say yes all the time. Another example of creating way to give back to the community before the official opening was, I don't see so, outdoor advent calendar on the museum wall, created from the donated old mailboxes. And featuring local holiday recipes, memories, event programs, reading recommendations, reflectors, and very small gingerbread that we called gingerbread love seeds, very small. We cooked them by ourselves. And alongside spreading Christmas cheer, the project also helped involve neighborhood institutions, such as the local church, library, theater, district government, and public sauna in the museum activities. Even after the opening of the museum, we have continued organizing an updated Advent calendar every other year. Thank you. We also invited all children living in Kalamaja or attending local schools, kindergartens, and hobby groups to contribute to the museum. In total, more than 160 paintings, poems, and other written works were submitted by families as well as schools and kindergartens. The idea was to use these creations when designing museum souvenirs and our visual identity, and also gain visitors when the young artists would come with their family and friends to see the results. Some of the drawings were printed on tote bags, and while others were turned into textile toys with elements designed to develop motor skills. In addition, they were turned into a colorful fish-shaped collage that brightened up a dark pedestrian tunnel connecting the old town to Kalamaja district and helped spread the word about the creation of the new community museum to the public. As a thank you, we organized also 10 playful children tours for all children who participated in the project, introducing them to the lives and activities of past and present Kalamaja children. Since many pupils attending Kalamaja schools live elsewhere and even outside Tallinn, the tours also helped make the neighborhood more familiar to them.
Finally, the Kalamaja Community Museum was officially opened in September 2021. Let's watch now a short clip from the opening. So, opening the museum building opened also up new opportunities to work with and engage the community. For example, as cooking and eating together brings communities together and strengthens them, Kalamaja Museum was designed with an open kitchen. Everyone is welcome to join our cooking evenings called the Flavors of Kalamaja that are led by former and current residents of Kalamaja to cook timeless recipes together, spend time in a cozy atmosphere, and of course enjoy the food. Recipes have included traditional Estonian dishes from childhood spent in Kalamaja, as well as dishes brought to Kalamaja from Mexico, Brazil, and other countries. Participants are of all ages, and the events are popular among long-time Kalamaja residents, people who have moved there only recently, and also visitors to Tallinn and Estonia, including, for example, exchange students. It has been a real pleasure to witness how these evenings have united the increasingly diverse community and also offered visitors a chance to get to know Kalamaja from a different perspective. The cooking evenings also inspired an outdoor exhibition at the nearby market, featuring recipes collected from locals, printed on nostalgic aprons, visitors could also take copies of the recipes home with them to try them out themselves as well. And in turn, the exhibition led to the idea of creating a cookbook that would bring together a part of Kalamaja's flavors, including dishes that have been prepared in Kalamaja for generations and are still prepared now. Also completely new recipes and modern recipes, and also those brought to Kalamaja from far away, either in Estonia or also from around the world. And these flavors have also now become part of the flavor of Kalamaja. The photographs for the cookbook were taken in people's homes and also in the museum. To foster a meaningful relationship with the community, it is also important for the museum to be open after working hours. The cooking evenings take place on Thursdays from 6 to 8 p.m. and our opening hours are they take place from 6 to 8 p.m. and our opening hours on Wednesdays and Thursdays are from 1 p.m. to 8 p.m. and Friday and Sunday 11 to 6. These Thursday evenings, Wednesday evenings offer great opportunities for all kinds of community events. Other examples would be the book club, focusing on writers with a connection to Kalamaja, organized on the initiative of a community member, and storytelling evenings, where people come together in the museum's cozy kitchen to share memories and stories. The latter are also moderated to ensure that everyone has a chance to contribute and also to give each evening a theme. Each time, a story is chosen together in the end that is sent to an artist who creates an illustration. And the illustration alongside the story are added then to the Tallinn City Museum's blog. Another great example of how projects are initiated by community members is the House Stories project, which started with 2 residents who turned to the museum with a desire to display the history of their apartment building. Others have also joined, and one such mini exhibition is in the works currently as well. Developed in collaboration between the museum and local residents, the project adds value to the buildings and strengthens people's connection to their neighborhood and sense of identity. We have also continued to use the whole of Kalamaja as our exhibition hall and continue to organize many different outdoor exhibitions. We are also very proud that local children have given our museum their stamp of approval. Many of them come to the museum to play, draw, or craft after school. For example, these kinds of fish. Some of them have also offered their help around the museum and even given tours to visitors, acting as our little volunteers. We have also continued to collaborate with local schools. For example, pupils contribute to taking care of our garden, which is free for everyone and offers the opportunity to pick fresh herbs and vegetables, enjoy the fresh air, explore an exhibition about old outdoor games, and also try them out yourself as well. In addition, we have created exhibitions with the local school outside their building for Father's Day and Mother's Day. Teachers integrated the exhibition into the children's curriculum, while the museum used material shared by the community to find local stories and photographs about parents and grandparents from the past. The laminated drawings encouraged children to reflect on similarities between past and present family life and brought joy to both the young creators and passers-by. We also, the locals in Kalamaja are also our guides and curators. So our community museum is constantly developing together with the local people. A community member wrote a book about the area, and after the book launch in the museum, she organized a tour to places in Kalamaja that are meaningful to her. This inspired the tour series My Kalamaja, where former and current residents lead tours, taking participants to special spots in the area and sharing stories. These tours have been led by writers, actors, professors of the Academy of Arts, and have also involved other activities that represent Kalamaja for the guide, such as raking leaves in the autumn and having a glass of wine at the local bar. Inside the museum building, there are also rooms for temporary exhibitions, where community members can curate and create exhibitions. Those who wish to do so come to us organically through the community, and we do not expect them to have previous experience. In organizing such exhibitions, the museum takes on an inclusive, guiding, and supportive role, as well as responsibility for funding. Currently, there is an exhibition showcasing stories from a neighboring district, Kopli, and which is curated by 2 women from there. From the start, it has been our aim to also bring to light the stories and history of neighboring districts of Kalamaja, located in the bigger North Tallinn district. Another exhibition, curated by a local journalist, tells the story of her family. So, to sum up, at first, when the creation process of Kalamaja Museum began, the community museum concept was still unfamiliar. In Estonia and other Baltic states that used to be part of the Soviet Union, the tradition and practices of participation are rather new, also regarding other fields, such as city planning. People tend to be a bit more passive, and it takes time to gain their trust. It was also a challenge to draw attention to the project in the biggest and busiest city in Estonia, particularly the attention of the young and active people. In addition, there has been the widespread belief that museums are places where you have to be silent and can't touch anything. This all is being changed now, and we are also very happy to be part of that change. It is delightful to see that now often communities from elsewhere who are thinking of establishing a community museum turn to us to discuss the creation process and our experience. In our experience, there are some key factors that have contributed to the successful creation of our community museum and the sustained involvement of the community. First, various forms of participation. The creation process of Kalamaja Museum developed organically, based on the nature of this specific community. Enabling various forms of participation, from voting in a poll to curating one's own exhibition, has allowed more community members to engage with the museum in ways that feel comfortable to them. Second, empowerment. This includes, first, more generally, helping community members see value in their knowledge, memories, and stories. It has been heartwarming to observe the change, especially regarding older residents from, oh, what do I have to talk about, to increased self-awareness and confidence. Secondly, empowerment has also involved enabling community members to curate their own exhibitions and even publish a book. For instance, a man who has been actively involved in the creation of the museum from the beginning became interested in manhole covers and their history. And in addition to collaboratively organized tours, the museum also supported him in publishing a book on the subject. Third, it is important to continue to nurture the relationships with those who have contributed. We continue to invite them to celebrations of the museum's anniversary, send personalized Christmas cards by post. You can see some examples of previous cards over in the picture. And we have also recognized that the awards Kalamaja Museum has won belong to the whole community. Thus, when Kalamaja Museum won the Estonian Museum Award, the Museum Rat for Community Engagement in 2020, the rat traveled around the homes of Kalamaja people and local businesses. When the museum received the Sileto Prize for Community Participation and Engagement at the 2024 European Museum of the Year Awards, we organized a big party for everyone. This award and the recognition from the museum field that came with it helped solidify our achievement of creating a community museum, and also gave a sense of pride to our community members who had been involved in the long creation process. The various community events, such as the storytelling and cooking evenings, publishing books based on the collected stories and objects, all offer ways to continuously collaborate with the community and sustain the established relationships. Participating in local neighborhood events such as Kalamaja Days and supporting those who organize them is also an important part of this. Fourth, openness. Having a varied program created together with the community also helps us reach new people and build new collaborations. Community is an inclusive concept for us, and we are also always aiming to engage new people in our activities as well. And that includes both former and current residents of Kalamaja, and also those who might live elsewhere but are interested in our little corner of the world. For example, as many expats, often working in tech companies located in Kalamaja, have moved there in recent years, we are planning to involve this new part of the community in the creation of audio guides in several languages. Fifth, a very important factor for the successful creation of a community museum is also the willingness of the museum staff to engage people, to openly communicate with them and understand why it is important and necessary. Working with people is rewarding, but also challenging at times. Training regarding how to listen to the people, be there for them, handle the more difficult cases is beneficial, as well as involving specialists such as anthropologists, ethnologists. As in our case, an ethnologist was part of the core creation team. In addition, being part of the wider Tallinn City Museum and thus being supported by its infrastructure has allowed us to focus on community engagement. And finally, time. An important factor of success is also time. When the positive results become visible, enthusiasm and support for the initiative grows, as well as experience increases. Time is relevant also in terms of reaction speed. We respond quickly to processes taking place in the community with exhibitions and events. In autumn 2023, for example, the renovated Vana Kalamaja street was opened after a long period of utility works and archaeological excavations, which had significantly disrupted local people's lives. Thanks to close cooperation with archaeologists, finds were immediately displayed in the museum for a week, including uncleaned artifacts, which attracted great interest, especially among Kalamaja residents who were curious about discoveries made in front of their homes. Thus, the Kalamaja Community Museum is ever evolving and ever changing with the local community and will never be finished. Doing things differently, exploring creative solutions and methods, preserving the heritage of a rapidly changing historic district, receiving valuable additions to the museum collection, seeing how much our work matters to the local people, and being a real part of local life is all what makes the Community Museum a rewarding concept. Thank you.
Moltes gràcies. Ara, no sé si hi ha algun torn, si hi ha alguna persona que tingui alguna pregunta aquí a la sala. Haig de dir que valoro moltíssim la creativitat que teniu amb tots aquests projectes que esteu duent a terme, perquè demostra que en els museus hi ha persones amb una capacitat de creació i d'inventiva digna de lloança. Us felicito molt per totes aquestes activitats que heu plantejat i com doneu veu i participació a tota la gent, tingui l'edat que tingui i amb les inquietuds pròpies que les puguin desenvolupar allà. De veritat. I els diferents aspectes i àmbits que treballeu, a mi m'ha agradat molt.
Sí, aquí. Hola, soc Laura Costa de l'Oficina Patrimoni Cultural. Felicitats per l'exposició perquè, reitero una mica el que ha dit l'Aurèlia, heu posat el focus de l'acció a les persones i crec que aquesta és un dels objectius que han de tenir els museus. Vull dir que a banda de treballar amb les col·leccions, el focus posar-lo en les persones. Hem vist que teniu moltíssimes activitats, que prepareu moltes activitats diverses. Quin equip de persones treballa al museu? Quantes persones treballeu? Quins perfils teniu? Gràcies.
Thank you for the question. So we have the positions in our museum. I'm the head of the museum. Tuuli is the educator curator. Then there are also 2 full-time positions for people selling tickets, guiding visitors, helping us organize the events, who are there when the museum is open. So it's like 2 full-time positions, but they are filled built by 3 people part-time. So it's quite a small team. In addition, we also have people coming in sometimes to fill in when someone is either on holiday, who works in either the tickets office or the building. So it is a small team, but we are also supported by the wider, as I mentioned, the infrastructure of the Tallinn City Museum. So, for example, building management, communications team, they are all central to the City Museum and also support us in our activities. So it is that is what allows us to focus on the people and the connections with the community. So, yes.
Hi ha alguna altra pregunta a la sala? No? Mira, el Dani.
He vist a la penúltima diapositiva que heu passat que l'adreça web del museu és l'adreça web dels museus de la ciutat, és a dir, de tots els museus. No heu pensat que necessitaria una adreça exclusiva pel vostre museu? I això també deu voler dir que depeneu molt del museu municipal de la ciutat.
So yes, we are one, thank you for the question. So yes, we are one branch. So for example, the web page system, the technical systems are all also central. So as we are part of the City Museum and funded by the city, we are at the moment happy to keep that system. And yes, so each branch has their own sort of sub-page on the central website. So we do have our own social media though, so social media is also managed by us, so not centrally, so this is another way to maybe connect more with the people and kind of more, how to say, when we have events happening to post stories and show what we are doing. But yes, the web page is kind of central, so this remains like this. Yeah, thank you.
Tenim una pregunta en línia. Es Oliva Cachafeiro del Museu de Arte Africano de Ulva. Diu, buenos días, me gustaría saber con qué tipo de financiación cuenta el museo y si en una época en la que se están reduciendo de forma general los presupuestos para cultura, ¿han visto reducido esta financiación o no? Gracias.
Thank you for the question. Yes, the budget is tight, but we are very lucky that we continue to be a good priority for the city. So yes, it is tight, but when we look at the whole city museum system, there are also some very interesting developments and investments going to happen soon. So we are very lucky in this sense, thanks to the city of Tallinn, that we can continue to operate.
But I must say that Triin Siiner, who got this idea of creating Kalamaja Museum, thanks to her, we started and we have all this quite young woman. She is very brave.
Una altra pregunta.
Hi, thank you so much for the very playful presentation. It was really great to see that sense of excitement and collaboration through your presentation. I wanted to ask about how you decide what goes ahead, what programs go ahead and what don't, because it sounds like a lot of things are being initiated by local people, but do you not get inundated with ideas that might not really fit with what you can achieve within your own budgets or your own capacity? Is it kind of the core staff that actually make the decisions of what goes ahead, or do people kind of initiate the things and it's very kind of case by case? I ask this because at the Migration Museum we are inundated with amazing artists and potential collaborators reaching out to us, wanting to do work with us, but we're quite a small team with very limited budgets, and we have to stick to our strategy a lot of the time because there are incredible things going on, but we can't, unfortunately, do all of them.
Thank you so much for the question. Yes, it is very much, in our case, everything is case by case. So it really depends on the specific idea, and if we see that it fits, then we do try to find a way to do it. But of course, sometimes it does happen that we can't do everything, and it's not possible, but I would say we do manage to do a lot what we are offered, or find a way. But yes, that does not mean that we can do everything. So yes, case by case is the. I don't know if you have anything to add.
Yeah, it has been a big challenge to keep myself, because all these people's ideas are so inspiring, and I want to do more than we can. But yeah. I have studied to do less.
Yes, because we are a small team, and with the community events as well, we always we support and we are there, and we do have also limited resources regarding time as well and our workload. So yes, like Tuuli said, it is a challenge, but yes, we do the best we can.
Hi ha una última pregunta que no te la podem enviar, la llegeixo? Sí?
Sí.
Raquel Torrecilla, de New Art, Centre de Reus. Noteu que hi ha un grup estable de veïns que participen regularment o és bastant variat?
Thank you for the question. Yes, there definitely are the people who participate regularly, who come to almost all of our events, are always there. A lot of them are also those who were part of the creation process from the start. So there is this kind of core group. But as I said, we are always also welcoming new people, which is really nice. So there are people who, for example, have joined our cooking events, and one of them is my colleague now, actually working in the museum. And also we have found other ways to collaborate. But in our events, there are also almost always new people who have not been part of it before. And when they come to the events, then they often discover a new nice place and opportunity to spend their time, and they tend to come back. But also, as I said, there are visitors to Tallinn, tourists, exchange students who also come to our events and are part of our community for a short time, but it's nice to have all of them there.
Doncs, si no hi ha més preguntes, moltes gràcies, Maibel i Tuuli.
Thank you.